Hello, hello, hello. And what day of the month is this? Gosh, I think it's October the 16th. 2 days or 3 days after Thursday the 13th. Yeah. And welcome to the Follies. This is the first of three sets we're gonna have tonight. House Team Messing, Ramen on Sunday, House Team Merit. So come on up, guys.
Hey, hey, we're missing some. Oh, okay. Here we are. Welcome, you lovely looking audience. This is House Team Messing. We come here on Sundays at 8:30, and we are ready to perform for you something called improv, so that we have no idea what's going to happen next, but we will be spinning our magic wheel, and that will give us the inspiration, perhaps some people to come up and chat about something that this reminds them of, and then we're just going to get to it.
7 come 11, baby. 7 come
Hey,
11.
okay. Hopefully it's not one we've seen before.
Oh no, we can do it. Repetition is a serious form of flattery. Let's see.
Hula
We
hoop.
did hula hoop. Give us another one. Give us another one, Zan.
Boy, we're picky.
We are. No rocking horse, no chatty Cathy.
No log cabin.
What do we got? What do we got? What do we got?
Portable phonograph.
Oh, okay. That's
Phonograph.
cool.
All right. I think we all have one of those. Let's say pop in. Oh,
We can't hear you, Susan.
Susan, tell us more.
Portable phonograph makes me think of my days in high school. And I had a friend who had a small record player in her room. And we would stay up way past midnight playing Olivia Newton-John's. I was trying to think of what the song was over and over and over again. And then we just cry about boys that we liked or didn't like or something like that. But I remember that just being hours and hours of just saying, the same record. And you would think I would have remembered the lyrics, but God, thanks age.
So, portable phonographs reminds me of one of its successors, which were CDs. That's before there were cell phones and stuff, for those of you who don't know. So, compact discs. And this guy in college, Stan was his name, really, really bright guy, kind of guy who's very zen, very sit by the river and sell water kind of entrepreneur. He had this idea when he heard about lasers, about the possibility of using that coherent light beam to create this pure, crystal clear sound reproduction. And I was like listening to him like, I'm not stoned right now. Like, what is this about? And of course he was talking about CDs.
Okay. Anybody remember or read about or seen a movie with those big beehive hairdos back in the, I don't know, was it 60s? The kind where the rumors, the urban legends were that cockroaches had nested holes and maybe maybe even hamsters and things like that. Well, back in that day, I was one of my friends, my newfound friends, had a portable phonograph that she brought to school with her because they had dances. It was like junior high-ish, pre-junior high, late elementary, and these 45 records with those little like plastic clipo things that you stick on. And she had this whole collection of square dances. So we were going to do square dances this afternoons after school.
Well, the key for me with the phonograph is I really don't remember. I had one, and I remember maybe I had a Burl Ives record. I was not big on collecting records, but I was really happy when it broke, because then I took all the guts of it out and it became a carrying case for my dolls, which actually is kind of odd because I was, unlike everybody else, I did not have a Barbie, at least not till way later, way too late. And I had something called a Tammy doll that I was the only one in the entire world that I knew of that owned this. And she was more my type. She's a little chubby, and she did not have all those extra things that Barbie had.
I had a phonograph at home when I was a kid. It was my father's, and he had a lot of what I guess would be considered vintage albums now. Um, Pink Floyd, I remember, and maybe have Fleetwood Mac, Dire Straits, because I know he liked those. But the phonograph that had my fascination was the one in kindergarten because it had a collection of stories. And I remember just sitting in the, it probably wasn't that, but I remember it being sort of like a closet area there. It's kind of like a small storage area almost. The drawing room, that sounds more elegant. And just cycling through stories. And they didn't have a lot of those, so I would listen to the same stories again and again, which was part of my exposure to American culture in those early days. Like I remember listening to Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. And I only ever listened to the phonograph version, never saw the live thing. So I guess that prepared me for the advent of audiobooks.
Let's get physical, physical. Let's get Barry.
Marsha, tell me a bedtime story.
Oh, sure. But don't you think, I don't know. Okay, I'll tell you a bedtime story. What?
If you want to get physical tonight instead, but if that was just a teaser, just tell me a bedtime story.
I thought I was being kind of obvious. You know, I've been telling you the same bedtime story over and over and over. I just thought maybe we should do something different for a change.
Martha, I'm your inner voice, and I don't think he's that into you anymore. I don't think he's interested. He's lost it. He prefers to just rest and hear stories that put him to sleep.
Yeah.
Barry, I'm having doubts. Are you?
You're saying I'm oblivious to what's going on. I feel it in my marrow.
Well, would you get it out of your marrow and put it someplace else? That would be a little more helpful to the situation. But you know, if you really don't care for me, just say it. Just say it. I can handle it.
I care for you, just not as a storyteller.
You're gonna. Are you
Probably he's having an affair. I knew it. It's those new neighbors, the way she's been looking at him.
Has somebody else been telling you stories, Barry?
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of sated on stories, and I want something different. I want something be more than stories, more than physical. I want something with some depth and emotion and vitality and passion. But I guess I'm oblivious. I don't.
Are you mime? Is mime more what you're interested in?
Judy,
Oh, Judy. Oh,
sorry.
Judy. Jesse.
I want to talk to you a little bit about our next door neighbor. I don't know if he's married or not, but I just think he's hot. I think he's just like amazing. And I know you've been looking at him too. You keep bringing him cookies.
Well, he seems to like my cookies, if you know what I'm talking about. I don't know. Have you tried?
I brought him apple pie. He likes my apple pie.
Oh, you know what they say? Way to a man's heart through his gut.
It's right through his gut, his microbiome. But I'm just thinking, I don't see anybody with him. I every once in a while look through the window, but what do you think? Do you think he's single?
I'm hoping he's single. I was assuming. I didn't see anybody with him either. But you're looking through his window? Is that a little creepy, maybe?
It's a little creepy, isn't it? But God, I like the way he looks. He just wears those khakis and they just fit him just the right way.
I love a man in pleated khakis. I agree with you. It's the khakis. It does it for me.
Kind of reminds me of my Ken doll. I had this Ken doll that looked just like him. And sometimes I would take, well,
Oh, go ahead, say it. You can. It's
he wasn't anatomically correct, but I'd take his pants off. You know, I was just a little girl, and just that's what that
Well,
reminds me.
you're not anatomically correct. I just want to point that out.
I feel like you're judging me based on my appearance.
Well, you know, I'm a superficial person. What can I say? Yes.
That makes me feel sad.
What can? Healing isn't enough here, if you know what I mean.
I mean, what would you like me to do about it? I can't change myself.
No.
My anatomy is what it is.
Or not.
What do you mean or not?
Well, I mean, sometimes we can manifest things if we really want to, you know.
Is this the vision board talk again?
I'm not giving the talk. I'm just offering opportunities, Ken. If you don't recognize the problem to begin with,
I know because I wake up in the morning and I look at myself in the mirror and I tell myself, look at this perfect creature. Isn't
Ken,
he perfect?
perfect. Well, Ken, I will wager, because I've never done it with you. I'm gonna wager that when you wake up in the morning, there's no Ken tent.
There's no Ken Kent?
Yeah, there's no Ken. Yes, there's no Ken tent there. Am I wrong?
I mean, I, 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 that's that. I,
This is hard for me, Ken.
Ken, Ken, Ken,
Ken,
Ken.
Ken.
I've been abandoned again.
Are you anatomically incorrect also?
Yes, of course. That's how we met. Ken, you're leaving me hanging, Ken, in an anatomically incorrect way.
I want to be anatomically correct. I just didn't realize that's what you was talking about. But now I feel
Ken, I love you the way you are.
you do.
Yeah.
I love you the way you could be.
Then what am I supposed to love?
Me, Ken. You're supposed to love me.
Take advantage of me, Ken. You don't have to love me.
I feel like we had a much simpler relationship when you were younger, and now there's these expectations and standards. And Henry here, he wants me as I am.
With all your imperfections. The more the merrier.
See? See what I'm saying, Ken? He thinks you're imperfect. He thinks being anatomically incorrect is imperfect. Don't let him fool you. I'm just here
He,
waiting.
he sees the perfection in the imperfection, and
I do. I see
Ken,
that.
Ken, and anyone getting so twisted about the lack of a single eyebrow on the right side, it's not the same number as on the left side. That's not someone you want to give your heart to, believe me.
you know what? He's right. I'm gonna live with him.
Good.
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 You know, after the surgery you did, Dr. Cecilia, I just think my face isn't symmetrical anymore. And I'm just wondering what you can do.
Don't you understand that beauty actually comes from asymmetry? That the symmetrical face is not beautiful. I don't know if you've read about this or done any research on your own, but actually the more skewed your face, the more beautiful you are.
I understand, Dr. Cecilia, but this is the 5th surgery, and I don't know. I just feel like maybe if you could just lift this side, just a little stitch or something like that, then I would be perfect, and then I would be happy.
Ms. Hopkins, you know that's even that we have scientific proof that you will never be happy if you feel that surgery is going to improve something. It has to be beauty from the inside. And unfortunately, that is not my specialty. Look,
I have
look,
lots of work done. I have lots of work done.
look how beautiful she is. That's beauty. You just can't recreate that, except when you try to recreate.
That wasn't exactly the look I had.
She is happy. That woman is incredibly, incredibly happy. And I have myself to thank for that. I gave her that face.
Then I messed up then. I must have facial dysmorphia because nothing you seem to do.
Doctor, these are the best days of my life, doctor.
Look how handsome this, look.
The best days of my life.
He has not had a night alone since I fixed his face.
I can drink ice cream through a straw.
How many people can say that?
No,
I hope I'm in the right office. I was looking to have a tent reconstruction surgery. There's something wrong with my tent. It's gone.
I can do it. If anyone can do it, I can do it. Miss Hopkins, really, there's nothing more I can do for you. I'm sorry. I've made you as asymmetrical as I possibly can.
you're right. And after seeing them, I'm okay with the way I look.
Yo, baby, you look like your eyebrows are a little crooked there.
No.
It's her.
I think it's kind of hot. Yeah, go ahead. Just say it.
Well, what I'm going to say here is
I can take
I
it.
find you ungodly attractive.
Heathen, of course you find me ungodly attractive.
Arthur, you are your underbite is like, I mean, it's superb. I mean, that must have taken 3 years to accomplish, Arthur. And if you've got that much stick-to-itiveness, I know what that means.
Rachel, you are such a student of the Indian condition. 3 years, 42 months, 16 hours, and 27 days. It didn't
Arthur.
come easy.
Arthur, that just shows you're dedicated and compulsive. You're that, yes.
Compunctious.
You're
Compunctious. Yeah.
compunctious, Arthur, and
Yeah,
anyone that's compunctious gets to be rambunctious too. And I
Yeah.
didn't go through all this work for nothing, I gotta
Yeah.
tell you.
Yeah. No, you're gonna get my next time I propose marriage, you're it.
You're gonna propose to me the next time you propose, Arthur?
Yeah, you're like at the top of the next list.
I just feel like we've lost our way somewhere, you know? We're still selling albums, we're still filling up moderately small venues, and just there's something missing, the passion, the pizzazz.
Pizzazz. Yeah, pizzazz. I'm missing pizzazz. How do I get a pizzazz infusion?
Well, it's not just you. It's when people were. I remember when we were young. I mean, not that we're not anymore, but
Oh.
they when people fought Selma and Marty, they fought innovation, they fought musical ingenuity, they fought.
We were it, man. People were lining up for us. And we could barely sell these CDs out of our van. I don't know what happened.
Hey, Mom, look, it's the monkeys.
The
I think-
monkeys.
I think that's what happened.
We're okay. Our fans are a little nuts. That's all.
You know what? Maybe we don't need them. Maybe we go back to roots. Maybe the next album we put out is not gonna be out there in the apricot store. It's gonna be just in vinyl, in select stores.
45, not even LPs, 45s.
Yeah,
Go back retro, man. Sure, I'm sure we can make something of it. We just go back.
and we just lose all the effects. Just clean
Yeah,
my guitar, your voice.
yeah, my voice. Everybody loved my voice. Marty, I think you got it. I think
Why?
we can do this.
I think she's. Oh no,
Oh no.
she spilled cereal all over the kitchen floor again. I'm gonna get it this time.
Would you? Yeah. I told you we shouldn't have took the kid with us on tour.
I mean, I think the problem is just. Don't get me wrong. I love her, of course. I love her more than anything in the world.
Yeah.
But I feel like she's taking the place of what was once a. I feel like each song was our child, and now we just have this one child, and all these other children are empty, and we're coming up with these ways of resuscitating what's there. But the truth is, she took it.
She
Okay.
sucked the creativity out of us.
Hey, Mom and Dad, look, my tuition's due for my MFA degree. I need you to pay it.
Whose idea was it to have a kid? I don't think it was mine.
So don't get me even started about Ralphie. I
No.
mean,
Just- yeah.
honestly, I don't think he's even mine.
Would one of you marry me? Would one of you marry me?
He sure ain't mine.
You know, I feel like I'm starting to feel like some of these people entering our house are not even our children.
So long.
You know, that period was it's just a blur. Too many drugs. That's the problem. I don't even know.
I'm gonna clean up that cereal, and when I'm done, we're gonna go into the recording room and we're gonna make
One with you. Beautiful.
pure, unadulterated, and she can burn down the house and he can quit college for all I care. But by gosh, golly gee, we're gonna have our soul back.
Well, darn it, you bet. You bet. It's back to you and me, baby.
Do you remember those days back in high school, Jeannie?
I
Your
remember being
favorite song.
frustrated. I remember being frustrated.
It was a frustrating time. I
It
mean,
was,
you wanted
but
to be
that song,
president and nobody voted for you.
oh, that's true, but I'm vice president now, and so it's actually more important to be vice president of the United States than to be vice president of the 7th grade class, if you know what I mean, Miriam.
I know exactly. I didn't vote for you in 7th grade.
Well, what about
voted
in
for you now.
2020? Did you vote for me in 20?
I did. You know that. Come on. I was
No,
on your
I'm just
election
giving you a
campaign.
chance. It's just a chance to redeem yourself, and I hope that you did it listening to the music that we listened to back there in the 7th grade.
All the time.
I mean,
In
you
fact, there
know,
was no better time, even though it was frustrating. It was you and me against the world. Remember how
yeah,
many things we did?
I do. And you know, I mean, everything's gotten easier since then because multinational corporations and intercontinental ballistic missiles are nothing compared to what we went through as preteens in the 7th
Oh my
grade. You
God,
know what I
remember
mean?
Benny when I tried out for cheerleading? He came up to me in the locker and was making fun of me the way I was like jumping. He was an
I know,
asshole.
I know. And you handled him, you know, who needs to deal with what's his name? Putin. I mean, he's a pussycat. You know, you had to deal with that shit in the 7th
Benny.
grade, and you did it magnificently. I mean, Vladimir Putin's just a friggin' pussycat.
And then there was Dan. Remember the way he treated you after school?
Oh my God, you know, I mean, I'd sort of forgotten. But you know, I mean, you're right. When I think about that, I mean the global summits and the G7s and the GMA3s
Piece of cake.
and the proliferation of nuclear missiles across Europe is ridiculously mundane compared to that relationship that didn't really work out, right? I
Madam
mean,
Vice
I
President,
nuked him.
Madam Vice President, I'm sorry to interrupt, but the president is dead. You'll have to take over.
Holy shit, that's just was.
You got this, girl. You got this.
We made it through the 7th grade. I mean, Miss Radkin. God, we had her for a teacher. I mean,
Oh
what
my
crisis?
God.
What crisis in the world today?
I'm back. I think I just needed to rediscover myself, and I realized that this will all be my home. I mean, I've been with you since you were 3, and I got the tent you wanted. I went to his office and I bought a extra large
Oh,
tent, fits 4 people.
I love that. I love that. You're so earnest.
If it's 4 people, can I come?
Yeah, come on over.
Can I marry one of you?
No,
No.
but you can play with us. You can play.
You can play.
No, don't cry. Don't be a
You
whiny
hear
little
that
baby.
song? That takes us back.
Yeah,
You hear
7th grade. Oh my God, that portable phonograph with the 45s.
Reminds me of a story.
Chitty chitty bang bang.
Chitty chitty chitty. Is that
Bang,
chitty chitty bang bang?
bang.
Chitty
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 Bang,
chitty
bang.
chitty
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 chitty chitty chitty
bang bang.
chitty chitty
Sounds of
bang
summer.
bang.
Bang, bang.
And
Bang,
that's
bang.
our show.
And now we'll introduce ourselves in alphabetical order by first name because that's how it's done. That's how the professionals do it.
Oh yeah.
That would
We'll see
be
if we can do the alphabet.
My name is Aner. Starts with an A, and that's why I'm starting. Anertal. I am currently in Rosemead, California, which is close to Pasadena, California, which is close to LA, California, if you don't know any of those other two.
I'm just putting that into my GPS now. I'm Cheryl Salamini from Milford, Pennsylvania.
I'm David Silverman from Amesbury, Massachusetts, and I am imperfect in so many ways.
I can testify to that. I'm Nikki Manchin. I live not too far away from my dear friend David, but I have to say, I'm not in West Palm Beach this week. Yay! I'm back in the beautiful fall of the North Shore. Hey, yeah, go ahead, Susan. I hadn't forgotten you.
And I'm Susan Geedy. I'm anatomically correct. That's been our
That's a
show.
fact.
Thanks for
I'm
watching us.
back next Sunday, 8:30.
See you then. Bye bye.
Au revoir.
Thank you.